Hi, my name is the Reverend Point Blank. This is recap of the Preachers of LA, Season 2, Episode 7, Restoration. As you can see, this episode is dedicated to Pastor Glock. I'm sorry for being late. I spent a lot of time trying to make sure I had the right outfit to make sure that I could come close to the glamour and the glitz of Pastor Glock. Because you see, on every episode, every frame, every scene, he is the sharpest. How we used to say, he clean as the board of hell. So I want to try to get close to it at least, because I respect that. Every time I see him, I'm thinking, he a straight up player from the hood. Ain't no question about it. No question. Praise the Lord. Pastor Glock, you've done, I think, everything that you can do. You brought them together, and I think it's time for you to step back and let them brawl. Mama, you need to chill the hell out. Pardon me, but you need to really chill out. How you gonna tell her to get over it? How you gonna tell a child that you've abused with drugs for 30 some odd years to get over it? You have lost your mind. You need to chill. And my sister, you keep on crying, because your mama, the best thing she can do is take the next 37 years trying to prove to you, more than that, try to prove to herself that she has overcome and that she can afford and that she can be the kind of mother and the kind of citizen that is respectful and honorable on this planet. She has 35 years of what's not fair. How long you been sober? 11 months? You really need to do your math. She's known that you tried it before. Maybe you were sober for 3 months, 6 months, who knows? But she knows that you have not overcome it when you tried it. She can't be surprised. She can't be overwhelmed. She can't be convinced until you do something. Don't you dare tell somebody to get over something. You get over it, Mama. Pastor Glock, you continue to amaze me. Since she was 9 years old, you've known this. I'm trying to figure out how long you've been a preacher and how long you've been helping people. And if you've known this with your own family for since she was 9, why is she this old and you finally doing it now? And then why are you doing it on TV? And again, why now? This has every indication, every smell of television. It looks like programming. Just like Bishop OG said, for your performance. He told Breast Milk, he said, let me lay hands on you for your performance. Every time I've seen your performance. If this is a performance, which is what I think it is, everyone already knows that. And then he tells you, you're going to be long-winded, not to sing and pray, and you go Pastor Breast Milk and do the very same thing you asked your stepfather not to do. This is a show. I'm sick of it. Ridiculous. She asked you to have a vasectomy. She said, it's much easier for a man. You know what's funny to me? You turn around and tell her, I'm not giving up my manhood. Next thing you know, you running off to the doctor to get your snippet snipped. And young lady, you are way out of line by saying he got more snip to snip and he can afford to do it. What relevancy does that have to anything? As far as him getting snipped? Or as far as him doing this for you? I don't think he should do it. I think, hey, in my opinion, it's like this. You said do it for the team. Well, what if Michael Jordan decided to leave? What if Kobe decided to leave? What if King James decided to leave? What if Pippen decided to leave? The team will change because time changes everything. What he's supposed to do when he had to re-up and get a new squad? What is young female going to say? Can't have babies. And also, Pastor PW, you need to get off your man, Pastor Breast Milk, for tripping on him because he, got a baby out of wedlock. You also have a child. It's not your child, but it's your wife's child. You married her. She had a baby from another man. How difficult is that? You married her, though. Don't you have no true forgiveness? That's not your responsibility. That's his responsibility. It's not your responsibility. It's your responsibility to decide whether you want to marry him or not. You said yes. Get over it, man. You know what it sounds like? gibberish. Well, here, I'm going to tell you what it sounds like. I'm going to play it for you. I want you to listen to it.
Well, in front of the church, I had to make all my cool, because you have no room for humanity, you have no room for error, right? When you came to me that day, I felt judged, I felt, attacked, accused, which I was coming at you. I would have never said, no, I'm not going to marry you, teacher. I would have never said that. I wasn't coming, knowing anything. I would never attack.
Who want to be feeling like that? Bishop OG, what do you mean by asking Pastor Breastmilk how would he feel about you laying hands on him for to be restored or whatever you call it? I mean, why not ask God what God feels about you laying hands on him? He's the baby. I mean, I don't understand. This appears to me to be exactly what I think it is, a performance. You said that every time I see your performance. How can you, in clear conscience, as a man of God, use the word performance? This is not a joke. This is not a performance type thing that you can use to escalate, or is it? Pastor PW, I am truly and honestly getting sick of you trying to express your manhood where you're not a man. You're not a very good pastor either. Here you are holding a man responsible for your integrity again. I've said this before and I'm saying it again. When you agreed to marry this man, you already knew he had a baby outside of wedlock. What does having a baby inside the womb matter to you now? It's not his responsibility. Your responsibility as a pastor would be to go to this young man, have a counseling session with him, and determine whether you want to marry him. I heard you say, myself and many of you viewers, he said, will you marry me? You said yes. Stop holding this man responsible for your stuff. You are PW for sure. Pastor Breastman, you really have no need to apologize to this man. I think you're doing it just the same reason you're going down to Detroit doing what you're doing there. Because you haven't done anything in this case. I know you had babies out of wedlock in that case and you just feel sorry. I don't know what it is, but I know from what I've seen in this case, you don't have any reason to apologize to this man. He invaded your space. You asked him to marry you like anybody would. He didn't do the counseling. It's not your responsibility. I tell him to go straight, to the barn because he is quite out of line with that. Pastor PW, you need to stop. I'm sick of you. You ain't got nothing else to do? Praise the Lord. Yeah, Pastor Breastmilk, none of you, let me repeat that, none of us are perfect. And we don't need to be going around acting like we are. But if we take a position that requires a certain amount of skill, a certain amount of respect, a certain amount of experience, you need to act like that. You don't take a position knowing you're going to sin because you see a naked woman, knowing that you're going to sin because you see a naked boy, knowing that you're going to sin because you see $100,000. This can't continue to happen. Wolves in sheep clothing on them while you live in lavish. God never had but one pair of shoes or sandals that I could see. He never had but one little robe that was a little sheep look like that I could see. He didn't have no Rolls Royce. He had a donkey. He certainly didn't carry a Glock, Pastor Glock. I mean, I don't get how you can preach one thing, read something else, and then interpret it totally different. My brothers. I guess that's what Jesus said when he said, you turned my father's house into a den of thieves.